Woof. Go to 16 here. And to like 32. Right? 32 Scutes in play, baby. Plus our mutate stacks. So we go to 64 Scutes now. And we've got some other jazz to do here. Probably just play this as a... Can we play that as a land still? We can. 128 Scutes coming your way. Hey everybody, welcome back and thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. Today we are playing with Gruul Mutate by Danny T-Law, a Twitch legend. Go check him out. This is a personal friend of mine. We've been working together for a while now. They reached Mythic rank number 26 with this deck, so it's proven. It's an absolute beast. It's going to climb you through your ranks and hit you into Mythic if that's your get, right? You know, it's a very simple deck to play as far as I'm concerned, which is great if you know me. Let's get into it. We're going to take a look at the deck list, talk about the playlines, the strategies, look at the gameplay footage, break down any of those in-depth first person if we can, and of course, entertain you along the way. If you do find any value within the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share it to a friend, hit that bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads. And we do have our 500,000 gem giveaway, free cash prize monthly tournaments, Brawl and Artisans focused around free-to-play and beginner individuals like yourself. So with all that said, thank you for your time and attention. Let's get right into it. This Gruul Mutate deck starts out with 3 copies of Gilded Goose. This is a 0/2 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, you create a food token. We can pay 2 to sacrifice the food token to gain 3 life. We can also tap the goose to sacrifice a food, not gaining 3 life, but gaining 3 mana instead. Sorry, not 3 mana, 1 mana of any color though, which is pretty cool. And the reason the goose is great within the Mutate deck, you know, it comes in, it helps you ramp because we want to get into those 5 and those 6 drops as quickly as possible. So not only does it do that, but it's a non-human in which we can mutate onto, which is very, very good. Moving on, we've got a little bit of aggro here to start out our 2 drops with Brushfire Elemental, a 1/1 with haste. It cannot be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. It has landfall, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Brushfire Elemental receives +2/+2. 3 copies of Tangled Florahedron and Tangled Veil on the opposing side. You know, the Veil comes in tapped, adds green to our pool, and the Florahedron is a 1/1 in which we can tap to add a green to our pool. So, you know, if we are stuck on land off the start, it can come in, open up the game for us. You know, later on, it's just a little bit of ramp for us. It's a non-human, which we can mutate onto as well. You know, the Brushfire Elemental is another non-human that I forgot to mention. So we can mutate onto that as well, which is pretty cool. We have 2 copies of Scavenging Ooze, a 2/2, in which we can pay 1 to exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on Scavenging Ooze and gain 1 life. Into our 3 drops, this is the main engine of the deck, Scute Swarm. You all know it and hate it. A 3-drop, 1/1 with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. If you have 6 lands, create a token copy of Scute Swarm, and when you're mutating onto Scute Swarm, the copies of the mutation go along with it, so you could be making a whole field of 6/6 Starrixes. A single copy of Radha, Heart of Keld, 3/3, and as long as it's your turn, has first strike. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can play lands from the top of your library, which is really cool. This is known as Virtual Card Advantage. Playing cards from anywhere else other than your hand will make the mid and late game much, much friendlier for you, because every card that you don't play from your hand is a card that you didn't have to draw, and that will you know, eventually pile up on your opponent. Into our 4 drops, 4 copies of Migratory Greathorn. This is our go-to, our first mutate that we want to hit, because whenever this creature mutates, search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Not only does it help you build a mutate stack, but it draws more land into play, helping us ramp. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. 2 copies of Gemrazer, a 4/4 with reach and trample. Mutate for 3. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. You know, we're only running 2 copies of this because it's not as important as the Greathorn. Obviously, you want to focus on your game plan primarily. And, you know, if it's rough, then you can maybe, like if they're getting hit with glass caskets and lots of artifacts like Shark Typhoon, stuff like this, then you can try to focus on the Gemrazer to deal with some of those things. But first and foremost, you know, you're just using the Greathorn, getting that land in play so you can utilize it in your upcoming turns. We have 2 copies of Everquill Phoenix, a 4/4 with flying. Mutate for 4. Whenever it mutates, you create a feather artifact token, and you can sacrifice the feather for 1 to return Everquill Phoenix to the battlefield tapped, which is quite nice. You know, it's got flying, which is pretty cool. It can trigger your mutate stack, which is really nice as well. So the flying is great, and the mutate trigger is not that bad either. Into our 5 drops, 4 copy of Terror of the Peaks, a 4/5 with flying, and whenever your opponent tries to target Terror with a spell, they will have to pay 3 life to cast that spell, which is great. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. So the play around here is the Terror needs to be countered, but a lot of the decks aren't running too much counter. It's just Drown in the Lock for rogues, and most of them are running removal, in which they'll have to pay life for, so that's not that bad. 4 copies of Auspicious Starrix, a 6/6 with mutate for 6. Whenever this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile X permanent cards, where X is the number of times that this creature is mutated. Put those permanent cards into the battlefield. Awesome. So this will flood the field with land, which triggers all of our land field effects. It will trigger our Scute if we have that in play. It can also flood the field with Scutes, you know, just setting that fire ablaze. And then, of course, just going wide with other jazz as well, like the Heart of Keld, like the Ooze, like flooding the field with free terrors. And, you know, when we do flood the field with creatures from the Starrix, those will trigger the terror to deal that damage, which is really, really cool. 2 copies of Vivien, Monsters Advocate, a 3/3 with some passive abilities, looking at the top card of our library anytime, much like the Heart of Keld. But this time, instead of playing lands from the top, we're actually allowed to play creatures from the top of our library. So very cool, a great way to not have a draw engine, but still hold very nice card advantage on your opponent by playing from your library. A +1 ability of creating a 3/3 green token with your choice of Reach, Trample, or Vigilance on it. The Reach is really nice as a defensive ability. The Trample is purely offensive, and the Vigilance goes both ways, but is more offensive because it does still require you to attack, and the Reach is great against rogues right now. Anywho, we do have a single copy of Ugin, I believe. It's hard to tell with this art. You'll have to check the deck list below. A 7 loyalty planeswalker, +2, dealing 3 damage to any target, -X, exiling each permanent with converted mana cost X or less, that's 1 or more color, and -10, gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, and then put 7 permanents from your hand into the battlefield. That's just crazy. Turntimber Symbiosis for 7, looking at the top 6 cards of our library, putting a creature card from among them. If it's 3 or less mana, it enters with 3 +1/+1 counters on it, then the rest go on the bottom of our library in random order. The Serpentine Wood is the bolt land, coming untapped unless we pay 3 life, adding a green to our pool. And then, of course, while we're on the topic of land, we do have 4 Fabled Passages. It's a land, and then it sacrifices to bring another land in, double triggering our landfall. 2 Evolving Wilds, the same thing, except for it will always come in tapped. The passage can come in untapped after turn 4. 4 Cragcrown, Timbercrown Pathways, 7 forests, and 5 mountains. We are playing traditional standard today, so we do have a sideboard consisting of 2 questing beasts for 4, a 4/4 with Vigilant, Death Touch, Haste, cannot be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control cannot be prevented. Sword Pool Kranos, and whenever questing beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls as well. It's great against control decks because of the haste. It can immediately attack after a wipe. You know, it's great against those planeswalkers that the control decks also sometimes like to use. So questing beast is pretty cool. Garruk's Harbinger, hexproof from black. That should say enough. You know, sorry rogues. Bloodchief's Thirst comes to mind. Heartless Act, Eliminate. So this can dodge all that. The creature is a 4/3, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, look at that many cards from the top of your library, putting a creature card or a Garruk planeswalker from among them into our hand, and the rest going to the library in a random order. 2 additional copies of Scavenging Ooze. We have this main board. We already talked about that. 2 copies of Heroic Intervention. Instant speed for 2 permanents you control, gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. 3 copies of Scorching Dragonfire for 2 instant speed, dealing 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If it would die, exile it instead. Sorry, Annex. 1 copy of Soul Guide Lantern for 1. You know, this is great against Kroxa decks and potentially rogue decks as well. When it enters the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard. We can tap it, sacrifice it to exile each opponent's graveyard, which is sometimes good. And we can also pay 1 to tap it, sacrifice it to draw a card. Worst case scenario. Speaking of anti-rogues, we do have the Chainweb Aracnir, a 1/2 with reach. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls with flying, which is awesome. It gets better though. Escape for 5 +4 cards from a graveyard, entering with 3 additional +1/+1 counters on it. It's a 4/5 that re-triggers the ETB effect, dealing that damage, and you know, we'll have hopefully Terror of the Peaks in play for that as well. So as far as sideboard strategy goes, you know, you take out what was bad and you put in what was good. I say this every video. You guys are going to get the hang of it eventually. It's a little bit different with aggro decks than it is with the mid-range and control decks because we don't have any removal. So typically it's like, well, they didn't have any creatures, we don't need our removal, let's sub that out and put in more power. But in a deck that has no removal, what do you take out, right? You do have to just kind of sub in the opposite way, right? So, you know, were there annexes that were getting cleaved that were shutting you down? Was there something that you needed to exile? Scorching Dragonfire is going to do that. Do you need to get rid of the graveyard? The Lantern, Rogues, the Aracnir, protection from Shattered the Skies, Storm's Wrath, stuff like this, Heroic Intervention, Proxas, you know, Woe Striders, which we don't see often anymore, Scavenging Ooze, protection from the black removal, Harbinger, and Questing Beast in those control matchups. So, you know, you are still going to make those plays, but instead of taking out what was bad and put in what was better, you're probably just going to do that equation in the opposite way, where you're like, well, what helped me survive against them, right? And then just try to mitigate your way around everything. Obviously, you don't want to touch the mutate too much, but again, you're going to have to make that decision on your own. With that being said, I do my best to break down the sideboard interactions within today's gameplay footage so you can pick up on some more in-depth interactions as we break them down match by match. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, hit that bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads. We have the 500,000 gem giveaway, cash prize tournaments, yada, yada, yada. Join the Discord for all of that and download Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant via the Overwolf link for free in the description below to help you improve, you know, your skill within the arena. Metagame analysis, deck write-ups, deck videos. You know, you get the percentage of your card draw. You get to see your opponent's deck. There's so much value within that to improve your playstyle. Thank you for your time and attention. Don't forget to watch to the end so you don't miss out on some once-in-a-lifetime news. And we will see you in a few seconds when we wrap up. Playing first, as always. Wow, that land looks bad. Wow, that hand in general looks bad. At a certain point, you just have to keep the goods, right? What if we just focus on getting to Ugin? Like, we know we'll get to 8 land eventually, especially if the Greathorn can do the do. Maybe we should have tossed a Gemrazer and tried just to Greathorn onto Scute right out of the gate. And it's Lurrus Rogues. That's even worse than just regular Rogues. Right? Without a doubt. Oh, turn 1 crab. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, we should have kept one of those 3 drops just to try to push it. Maybe they didn't have removal, we could have got lucky. I mean, you know, that's Blood Chief's Thirst, Blood Chief's Thirst, Blood Chief's Thirst, Blood Chief's Thirst, Heartless Act, Heartless Act. Right? Nice. It's a mill off. Well, not for me, for them. I'm gonna try to bash these dang crabs. This is a cheaper... Oh no, they both are 3. They could easily just counter this, and it's basically game. Ah, right? 8 lands with 2 crabs on board. Still a match somehow. They could brick on land is the thing. No. We definitely should have kept that Scute Swarm. There's no removal. Plus we pulled the wilds. You don't know these things until you do it. We just need to ramp to that Starrix and hopefully it can build a big old stackaroni for us. That puts us at 6, which is Mutate Starrix territory on a stack of 2. You hit me, I hit you. Oh, there could be Death Touch blocker, you fool. Nope, there's not. We should have thought about that a little slower, right? Because there could have been. Right, they could have flashed in another Enforcer, taking out our Mutate stack. Oh, wow, I can't believe I risked that. Alright, that's fine. Xerath to take our Vivien would be lame. We're at 36 cards left. Okay, there's no land drop unless they do the robber right away. Man, that Starrix is gonna help their mill capabilities. We should have stayed to defend against this flyer. I didn't think of it. I didn't think of it, boys. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We have 2 more matches to play after this. Oh, they're gonna draw. They're looking for a land. There they go. Up to 3. Break off, crabs. Oh my god, they're down to 25. And they're not tapped. They could 100% just counter the heck out of the Starrix. Yeah, they got it. They got removal here. There's no way they let this hit. We needed that 7th land, and then we needed to pull another land next turn. All right. Sure. Come on, a passage? You dog. You dog. Down to 12. Maybe if we had an Ugin minus to do, and then we can just plus on everything else they do. Oh, mill some more! They don't even care about it dying. Just like, let's mill them. We have 5 cards left. This is still a match somehow. The only way to get the land next turn is to mutate this turn. And then we don't even have another land to pull anyways in the deck. So that's not gonna happen. Rogues, hashtag Aracnir. Man, do I hate rogues. The Harbinger's not bad against rogues. Really, it's like relatively decent. Let's trim our power level back a bit, but we're gonna increase our resilience, right? All right, playing first, of course. Keeping 7. This actually doesn't look too bad, especially if we play slow. They pay life for that. They're just gonna flash in the defender, which if we look at their deck, we can see that the Orange Job Enforcer is a 1/1, which I, to be honest, do not mind trading with. I don't think, because they're gonna remove our guy anyways, or we leave it. Let's leave it. No, it can't block it anyways. What was I thinking? Its power's too slow or too low. Oh. Oh well. This way we could block them, I guess, for the trade, which I think is good. No, we don't go for it. Let's force them to sack it. They don't. Oh, it had summoning sickness. Does that matter? I should know those things. The crab life. Oh no. Starrix and some land off the top. Unpleasant. We have to play Heart of Keld because it can help us draw land here. It does. Perfect. Hashtag landfall, baby. It's a 6 additional damage. Screw you, rogues. Ugin on top. Not good. Hopefully there's land underneath it. Oh, I guess we're getting milled anyways. And there was a land underneath. Nice. 4 mana. We will block the Enforcer because it could be a Xerath Sand. Do we just keep going wide? If they remove it before it hits, we still get the creature. They just counter it. Okay. The first strike can hit. No, it can't. Alright, they're down on removal here. They need to bring Lurrus into hand, I think. More mill, whatever, man. Screw you. There's no way they win this. There's no way they still have more mutate. Or, some more removal, sorry. That would be crazy. What? Perfectly balanced. Jeez Louise. That's actually annoying. Starrix off the top, fine, we don't have the land for it anyways. Man. They just immediately sack it, that's fine. Lurrus in hand. Yeah, no. Call the Death Dweller. Okay, they're tapped. Can we please pull a land for this terror? Alright, this isn't that bad if we pull land either. But I want terror in play first. Nice. And now they have to have removal. And we still get to hit for 3. Right, and they have to block with their Enforcer. But they can just replay the Enforcer with Lurrus. We still have to do it though. You can do it. Don't be shy. Getting hit with a little bit of connection error, it seems here. There we go. There's one. Come on. Come on. There's 2. There could be another Enforcer here. That would be really weird, but I don't doubt it because they played perfectly so far. What in the heck, man? They can still target Terror, unfortunately, because they have the double block. If 3 got through, then they couldn't target Terror, and that really makes it a lot easier for us. But come on! How do they have the 100% perfect turn 1 through turn 5? That's crazy. Sure. My spider has reach. It's also just 1 damage that I don't overly care about. But we do have to block it because in case it's a Xerath Sand. Let's keep that in mind, right? It is a rogue. So there's the spider block. That would have been so bad if after all this they just Xerath us because of a little misblock there. That would have been classic me. Into the story, taps him. Okay, cool. Cool. That rogue life is so annoying. Are they gonna try to play the Nighthawk Scavenger because Terror for the Death Touch? We need to keep all of our creatures that we possibly can. I don't mind the Ooze either, really, other than it doesn't have reach. Hexproof, indestructible. They counter it on the stack always. Let's try to roll it out here. Oh, and there's no Xerath Sand in the Lurrus version because of the deck building rule. Nice. Okay, good call. Wow, this hand is not fast. It looks good, but it's like pretty slow. Opponent goes first. If we can pull just a regular land 2 turns in a row, 1 being red, 1 being green, that could be pretty cool. All right, we see a mountain in play as a pathway. No such luck. We'll go with our wilds first, pass our turn. We're having a little bit of server-based connection errors, it seems. Enforcer. So yeah, I missed on that, but they're only going to have 1 and 2 mana rogues within the deck. So that's their turn. Let's let them mill before we shuffle. 2 lands off the top. We kind of needed that. Having them play first is unpleasant. Let's take a mountain. Actually, we should have taken for our goose, you fool. I was thinking the mountains are more uncommon within the deck, so the chance that we draw one is going to be less than drawing a forest. I just make snap decisions. Oh, that does not even replace our terrible error. All right, this is going to be just generally a hard match to win now, because I suck. Oh, God. Okay, it's okay. They can counter whatever we do. They need to counter this elemental or destroy it. Let's play it slow, right? Let's kind of hide these passages for now. That could be our saving grace. Thought Thief, which we can't block anyways. The Enforcer could easily gain Death Touch this turn. Yup. Big damage, that's the problem. The double goose. It's a Gooserama. That's gonna allow us to Starrix right away. That could save us, I don't know. It's a hard call. We could have kept the passage on defense to kill the Enforcer, but again, they could just easily have removal. Now we've lost it. You dog. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good game. For another 6, down to 6. They've got counter magic available, guaranteed. Pull our second red source here. Take the shuffle for good luck. Here's the removal. Goodness gracious. Alright, let's play one more before we sign off for the day. Alright, this land is too much. I want to say this hand has too much land, but either way, I think both work. This is fine, so we'll just pay life for it. Let's toss our Terror for now. Right? We'll pull that later. Living that shock life. Not really, that's a considerably harder than a shock. That's definitely a bolt. We have Sultai due to the Zagoth Triome here to deal with. Ooh. Oh! Lots of removal, that means. We should have played our Ooze first, doesn't have haste, but this way we can play the land on top of it next turn, so it's kind of like a trade-off. I say these things like they're misplays, but there's just different routes of playing, right? There's no one route that's specifically better. In this situation, anyways. It'd be different if we know there was a Crocside play or something, but there's not. And even then we want to hide it and use it quickly and sneakily. Decent hit for 6. There's removal. Dang it. That's okay. Let's hold the food for our terror. Again, we need to make sure that... Ooh. Ooh, 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 it's got Death Touch. We need to terror, let it hit us, and then we'll play the raise on top of it to kill it. We need to land here. Huh! Without a land to play on top, it's useless. Oh, we don't have... I don't want to pay that. Let's just, you know, kind of bait their removal into our swarm, which is typically not something we want to do, but... Taking this one on the chin. Need that land, man! We need that land! Oh, a second scavenger. Nice, brah! Ah, man, come on. At a certain point. The Phoenix comes back is why I use that over the Gemrazer. We need to defend because any damage they do just mitigates every bit of damage we just did, and there's removal, so this is not working out for us. This is game. Let's see if we can grab a land off the top. At least we get it. It's like a little late is the thing. Let's actually just play as a creature. We can hit for 1. If they have removal on the Gemrazer, it's game, yeah. Well, I mean, we can block with the Goose, I guess. Still. It's like a hard hole to climb out of. We are more mid-range, right? We've got 5 drops and stuff. Our opponent's much more aggro-oriented. So, by bricking on land, we basically suffocate ourselves in the garage. Rogues. The Aracnir is really good against rogues, right? We can just kind of kill them. The Ooze is good against Heartless Act. That's something to keep in mind. Woof. Alright, rogues are annoying and I hate them. Rogues are annoying and I hate them. We could get rid of both of our graveyards to get rid of Drown in the Lock's efficiency, but I don't know if that's like an advanced tech. I don't know if we need to do that. I like the Aracnirs. Let's take the Ooze out and then screw Heartless Act. We've got this, boys. It's not the first match we've ever lost. Won't be the last. Wow. If we only draw land, which we had a hard time doing the first game. There's a frog in your throat. Something. If we can draw land, this would be nice, but... ooh! We're in no rush. We want a Gemrazer on something. Or, sorry, Greathorn. Gemrazer can sit there. They're playing nice and slow. I think we feed one to the wolves. Pull some of the removal out. It's better than doing nothing. Are you serious? That's your 3-drop. Well, this isn't a good start. We can Greathorn. We're at 4. We can pull land and Greathorn. It'll be nice. Come on. Nope. What? What? That's the wrong one. Don't worry, they got 2. No Greathorns for us. Are they in our Twitch chat listening to us? Why would they have killed that insect? You know what I mean? That is a weird play. Just keep pushing the agenda. We only need 1 to trigger. It forces them to remove them both again. They did the first time, they will do it this time. Yeah, they're going for it. So just drain in that removal. They're gonna do this instant speed when we try to play on it. And they're baiting us into it. We're still going for it. I think that's just landed. We're fine. Let's pull the red source for our Phoenix. And we get to copy it. I'm good with this. Yeah, big ups, bro. Sorry. These are the misplays I normally make. Just kidding. Oh, the stupid rogues and that stupid scavenger, huh? We go anti-scavenger? Just play more removal instead? Drop our elementals, even though they're really nice aggro? Well, I don't know. I guess. It's been a recurring theme where our opponents are getting their best card and multiples of their best card in their draw hands in multiple consecutive matches. It's been very weird. We're gonna let it rip, though. We got our anti-scavenger, which will hit on turn 3. Our opponent plays first, which should mean that we'll be ready to hit it. Let's pull a mountain here first before we do anything with our passage. Thank you. I have no problem playing slow and holding it up. Go ahead. Yeah, whatever. They're gonna play counter magic. Now they decide to play counter magic. God dang it. Juke. That's a good juke. You can't allow them to stack rogues. Pretend we just have more of those. Right? We have no relevant play for 3. But what if we be super greedy and try to push our next turn out early? Who's gonna waste removal on the Tangled Florahedron, right? Leave that guy alone. Now if we draw land, we have 4. Or do we risk it for the biscuit? They could just Heartless Act it. They could just Heartless Act it. Let's play Starrix as a creature. Weird play, I know, but I don't want to lose anything else, and we have 2 copies of the Starrix. Plus, it's incredibly high value, so if they do have removal that they would have done on the Terror, they will use it on the Starrix, right? It's kind of like a magnet, because it's high enough value that they need to remove it, and then, you know, we're getting rid of the removal. And that should allow us to play our Terror of the Peaks. Interesting. Terror would have been better there. They would have paid 3 life for that, but then again, maybe that's not how that would have went. 4 mana in play. Could just be straight up counter magic here. I say let's just go. It taps it. Whatever. If they remove it now, we still get the 6/6. If they let it hit, they have to deal 6 damage or have just single target removal like Heartless Act. But we still get to pull from our library, which at the very minimum is replacing itself. So it works out of just them having no removal, us getting no positive. The land's actually not that bad because of the Scute. That's 6. That's our 6th land. So we know there's more removal. They get a chance to remove it here because we don't have a land in hand, which sucks. But again, we're trying to just get that removal out. We could have thrown a Gemrazer to the wind, but I like Gemrazer against the rogues. Right? Okay. We have a good hand. If we can just chill out a little bit here, I think we'll be in a really good position. Gemrazer just as the creature with reach to defend. Another petty theft, sure. If we mutated, they would have bounced both creatures. So it's good to spread the threat. Or removal. They've got to be running out of it at a certain point. You know what I mean? That's a really nice draw. So tempted. Let's just keep up the reach creatures, right? This Aracnir should upset them a bit. That's going to snipe out one of these borrowers. Right? They need a second blue source. They get it within the... Wow. Okay, they're tapped. They're tapped. Vivien's really good here. I was going to play Terror, but Vivien's better to play when they're tapped, in my opinion. Right? Free reach creatures. Come on. Come on. Which we can mutate onto, by the way. They're non-humans. Gotta make a play, bro. Gotta make a play. Pulling that removal out. Steady. Right? Again, they're tapped out here. There's no instant speed removal for one. I mean, I guess within blue they could bounce the token, but... They use it on the lantern, sure. I don't think they want to, you know, deal too much with our graveyard. They rely on that, like we talked about. We were going to take in lantern to deal with the graveyard itself. And if you tap me once, you tap me twice. Let's pull out any remaining removal within Terror of the Peaks. We know there's no haste attacks, so the 3/3 can hit. This is staying here to kill a Brazen Borrower. You bet your bottom dollar. It'll actually kill 2 of them because Terror. Not that they can play 2 in 1 turn here because of their restriction to blue, but it would be cool. It would be cool. More removal? You dog. What is up with this Blood Chief's Thirst? 4 copies off the top. Oh, you dirty dog. We have 6 available mana. At a certain point, let's just go for it. They could have removal here. Another Heartless Act. We've got the counter though, so they actually can't Heartless Act it because they reach. Another land, baby. That's what it's all about. Oof. Big hit. Here's the Chump Blocker within Gilded Goose against a haste attack, or you know, that flash that comes in on our end step. Of course, they could flash in and then remove the Goose, but they're down on cards here. Take the draw through the Lantern. It's crazy how much just a double draw helps you out. You go from 1 to 3. Oof. 1's a Triumph though, which is fine. Into the story, big time draw. Down to 2. We just will have lethal here, hopefully. Oh, Removal City, Bay. That's a 6/6 flyer, baby. It's all about those land pulls. Hit it. Let's Goose out again. They're down to 1. Right, we can snag their flyer. We can even mutate. Should be good. I'm feeling relatively confident. We have 2 odds though, so you know, Extinction Event could get us, but we're playing rogues, not control, so it shouldn't be that prevalent within the deck. Like, it shouldn't be there. Could be there, but it shouldn't be. The Aracnir's real nice just to be chilling on. Let's pull the removal, I guess. For a second, I thought the Phoenix had haste. I was like, no, you fool. Oh, they could double Borrower, I guess. Or even just a single to shut down the block. You go for the kill. Huh. Alright. Take a 2-for-1 special. We should have went for it, but then they would have chump blocked. But then they both would have survived. Interesting. Maybe a misplay there on my behalf. Play out as a creature. Or 2. At a certain point, right? And then the Aracnir should hopefully shut down a blocker. The Brazen Borrowers we didn't get because they had flash, and obviously our Spider doesn't have flash, so we can't get it on the stack in any way off of a main phase. Right? Casting it at sorcery speed. The Gargoyle can defend. They need to keep 4 cards in hand to keep it to defend, so that will be it. Cycling works, they still stay at 4. They should have tricked me with that maybe or something, I don't know. Huh. Nice, good game. 1 shot, 1 kill, 22 minutes and 22 seconds. Woof. Pretty sick draw hand, eh? kind of want to keep that. Yeah, we'll play smart. Pull a red source, we'll ramp next turn. Gross, Lotus Cobra is not good for us. We've no drop next turn. Interesting. No land drop. We're golden, guys. We did it. We won the game. Terror in play. I mean, there's 2 mana removal for Terror, but I don't think they have it. Yeah, even bricking on mana for just 1 turn is too much. It's too much. I guess they didn't really brick because the Prismite... Actually, no, they have to pay 2 to add 1 mana. That's reverse. That just fixes it. It's like a 5-color deck card. Cobra can make mana of any color as well, which is super friendly. Just landing out with these fertile footsteps. Falling asleep over here, bud. Let's go. Yeah, more mana. Play something else. No, that's there. We put it on the stair. Wow. It just needs to go here. Let's see what we get. 1 damage. Woohoo! Right? Yeah. You just highlight everything to see where it's going. We start hitting for 5. And, you know, it may have been better just to play the Starrix as the 6/6, but now we have a Mutate stack building. We do have Temur colors against us. So they're going to be playing their own tears, their Genesis ultimatums, which their land's way off of. They need 3 islands for the ultimatum. That's the hard part. 2 mountains, 2 forests. I think we're good. Starrix on Starrix. I believe we get, what, 4 permanents? That'll be alright. Low Lizard, that's a limited card, man. Alright, let's just wrap this match up. Feels pretty bad. One damage here. Nice. 4 damage here. And then 1 damage here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I guess we may as well take 2 damage. It's better than 1. Send another 2 up top. And we hit for what I believe is lethal, down to -3. Ah, it's nice to be on the other end of the resistance. I think we just keep it right as is. That worked really nicely. This weird lizard, the cobra. Cobra we could deal with maybe with the Dragonfire. Right, the Cobra's pretty good. We should maybe address that. Just because they are on the play, and if they do get ahead of us. So let's drop the Ooze, because there's no Uro, obviously, in Temur anymore. And let's drop a Vivien, because there's no reach needed for rogues. That should do, and now we have the removal to offset the Cobra play. And, you know, hopefully we can work off of that. Yeah, I won't complain if our opponent misses their land drops either. We need all the help we can get. Our opponent gets to play first because we won the last round, and obviously you get the advantage if you're on the losing end. This looks good. We've been blessed with a nice hand. Our poor opponent. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I hope they've got removal. Weird. Goose in play. There's that Cobra that we were, you know, not looking forward to. Let's just push the land ramp now. And then we're building our mutate stack. Once it dodges some of their damage-based removal, we need... we actually have that mountain there. Our land's fine. I mean, it's a two-color deck. It's actually not that hard to figure out, especially with stuff like the Greathorn. Two Cobras, you dog. Hopefully there's no land on top of them. There it is. Alright, they're up to 3 here. Cultivate, that's good. They go back up to 2. Woohoo, we're going on a little Cobra ride, baby. If they have a Genesis Ultimatum in hand, we're screwed. Screwed, I tell you. Double land is really nice. They do come in tapped, which is like whatever. No attacks. Let's play defensive. We're ready to Starrix on a 3. We'll get 3 permanents. And then we're gonna use our life form after. Sorry, yeah, life form. Sometimes I call it lithoform, sometimes I call it life form. So they go up to 3 mana available here. Only 2 cards in hand. I'm not too worried. A Cultivate? Wow. Cultivate on Cobras is real good. If they spend this 2 last mana, I'm going to be so shocked. Well... let's just do this. I want to mutate on one of these guys, but we're not playing a land is the thing. We'll pull the land here. Right, double land's better. We just kind of go exponential with the Scutes. Right. We go to 8 here. And I believe we can rein in some terror. Let's hit for 4. Even if there's an ultimatum, we've got a very good base. I should mutate onto the Scute to make them 6/6s, but I just want to push our mutate stack more. Like, it's built up so high already. Interesting. The plot thickens. The plot thickens. I thought they were going to play a land after to make it. They still could. They still could. Sploosh. I'll take the damage. I don't care. This is nice. Woof. Go to 16 here. And to like 32. Right? 32 Scutes in play, baby. Plus our mutate stacks. So we go to 64 Scutes now. And we've got some other jazz to do here. Probably just play this as a... Can we play that as a land still? We can. 128 Scutes coming your way. I get it. Result in a draw. You can go up to 1500 Scutes before the game breaks. So we should be fine with 120. Lethal next turn. Just by going wide with Scutes. It's too bad we didn't have a Terra in play. Could have done the old Scute machine gun, baby. Our opponent's resolving these one at a time. That's awesome. Oh, gosh. Doing the Gruul Scute today. Just one at a time. There's a resolve all button. That's fine, though. Just content. I would never do this, though. One day I'll be able to afford editors and we can maybe speed this section up. You know what I mean? Right now I just try to fill it with my speech impediment. There's no reach here, so we can attack. Let's just hold off though. We'll just kill them next turn by going super wide. They need to wipe the field this turn. They could win somehow. There's a way for sure, but I don't think they're getting it with a Visionary. That's not gonna help. Brushfire could have just would have died to the world sculpture there. Unless it was buffed up, I didn't see that. But regardless, nice easy win. Alrighty, Danny boy, you did it. This is a deadly deck. I love it. Thank you. Congratulations on your top 25 or top 26, I guess. And you know, I just wish I had more time to consistently play a deck, right? Playing 2 to 3 decks a day. I don't have time to settle in. You know, I wish I could just spend a full 6 hours playing one deck every single day. That would be cool. And I hope that eventually we get there. But right now, 1 video a day is not cutting it. I had some tough times and we need to get back to 2 videos a day because, you know, I hit minimum wage. I was super excited about that and it's gone. So we need to crank up that workload and just keep progressing, keep growing the YouTube channel, keep growing the Twitch, yada, yada, yada. You can support on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and the new Amazon link. That's absolutely awesome. You know, literally every dollar helps. I really appreciate everybody doing that, everybody who's going to do that, and you know, just everybody who is supporting with their time and attention organically. That goes a long way as well. Hit that like on all of my videos, subscribe, share the channel out to friends because I'm sure they want in on our cash prize tournaments and gem giveaways, and we've got lots of more shenanigans planned as we continue to grow. So this is the place to be for Magic the Gathering Arena if you are a free-to-play beginner or just any jazz like that. And you know, we also have the top ranked mythic decks as well for you guys. We're well knit within the community now. We know all the top dogs, so we've got you guys this hot content as soon as it's available. So thank you, Danny Tila. I really appreciate it. Make sure to check out this guy on Twitch. Go check him out on YouTube. I know he's struggling to build his YouTube. He'd love a subscription from you, just like I would, right? So check him out. Thanks for your time and attention. Have yourselves a magical day, and we'll see you again soon with another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Peace.
Nice.